Here we go. The mic is on. The mic is on.
I thought that was a prop.
Hello? Huh?
I thought that was a prop.
You thought this was a prop?
Yeah, I didn't know it actually functioned.
So you think I just put a microphone here as a prop?
I was like, I've
Just
never
in case
seen.
none of you know this, my sister believed this was a prop the whole
That's
time.
right. I thought it
See,
was a
Maria,
prop.
hold on. We're taking a break for a second.
Yes.
Maria, do you see that light?
Yeah, but I've never seen it lit
But Maria,
up.
watch when you speak.
Light
Go
up.
ahead.
Testing.
See how it goes? You don't see the green line?
Yeah, I see it.
So do you think the red
See,
line?
now it just went
Wow.
off, but I've never seen it
Wow,
in action.
wow,
I'm just saying.
wow, my sister, Jesus Christ. It looks good for the camera. Yes, yes, Mike, you're correct. Mike, don't you got to work? What are you on, the Sean Angle freaking payroll? Oh, listen, everyone, thank you so much, and I do apologize for the lateness. Just trying to get everything settled, and everybody knows when it comes to audit times, I run around with my head cut off, and tax time and all these things. So listen, thank you so much for joining us. Maria, you want to give a shout out? Anybody?
Hello. Happy almost Valentine's Day.
No, made up
The
holiday.
day-
Made
it's
up holiday. It's
not.
made
a
up.
day of love.
Made up. Who knew there would be a little fat guy walking
little
around with a bow
Cupid?
and arrow? What is it called?
Cupid.
A Cupid. I call him stupid. Waste of money, waste of time. So listen, thank you so much for joining us. VSD is vida primo. Hey, primo is vida bom. You know this. So everything in there is a prop of some kind. That was a pick to you, Maria, from Michael. Hey, so listen, I got a little interesting thing going on here. So first of all, before we begin, I want to give a shout out to everybody on Facebook that's given me an opportunity. It started out as a joke, but now I'm getting serious about it. One of my friends entered me in a muscle and fitness thing, and it started out with a bunch of people, and I'm down to the last 5 people. And after 5, they're going to take 15 people, and then it's us 15 people that are competing. So if none of you have voted for me, please go to Guardians, Guardians security, and please vote for me. I am. So I'm not going to say the reason why, but let's just say there is a financial thing to it. And I want to let you know that I am going to have you all pick something that has to do with the money.
Donation.
Yes, it'll be a donation. And because I feel I've had an opportunity and so much given to me that I don't need to be blessed with it. So that was one of my main reasons where I decided that when I started watching individuals that were actually doing it, and they had placed comments about, I'm going to do this with it, I'm going to do that. I've done so much, and I've been blessed so much with my family, my wife, my friends, that I want to give an opportunity to give that all back. So vote for me. Let's see what we do from there.
Awesome.
So
vote.
So here we go. So we're gonna go through this little thing, and I do apologize. I was trying to put tint on my window today, and I dropped the water on my notes today. So first of all, I'm gonna do a thing called an opening monologue. Okay. So Massachusetts is under a microscope right now. 4 state police academy staff members have been indicted in connection with the death of a recruit during training. So if you guys remember, if you've been watching us for quite a while, when I had my buddy Chris Kosh from Mass State Police, we were discussing this about Delgado-Garcia that ended up passing away in the academy. So I kind of want to touch base and let people know where all this, because we were pushing and constantly saying, please support this, that people should look into this. So 4 state police academy staff members have been indicted in connections with the death of a recruit during training. I'm going to take the word recruit and say it's Delgado-Garcia, and I do apologize for saying recruit. I'm going to honor his name and his death. So there is a review, public scrutiny around a prior fatal accident involving a Massachusetts state trooper. That's something else we're going to discuss. And just days ago, this is an embarrassment saying that I worked at Walpole Susan Baronelsi in Northeastern Correction, that I'm going to save my stories for that just days ago, several Suffolk County correctional officers were caught on camera physically fighting inside a facility against each other. Okay, against each other. These are not normal, and it's not small headlines to me. So today, it's not about attacking law enforcement. Today is about accountability inside institutions that carry power. If internal affairs doesn't work internally, the public demands external oversight. That's how trust erodes. That's how institutions weaken. So let's just break this down calmly and factually and intelligently. So for step one, because I know a lot of my guys from Walpole are watching this, and then my shout out to all you guys, and thank you so much. And ladies, thank you so much for watching this, and I appreciate all your support. But I'm going to tell you something. I can't stand inner perimeter security, which is called the IPS. Okay, there are some solid guys that do the internal investigations on both us, officers, and inmates and convicts. And sometimes they fabricate stories to get at other individuals or try to get everyone to play against each other. So to be honest with you, if you're a snitch, you're a snitch, and you just developed yourself a little better by climbing up the ladder and becoming a bigger snitch. Because to me, we'll discuss this when I get to it. But if you got a problem with a fellow blue, you handle this shit outside. You don't do it inside the school. You don't advertise it. Be a freaking man. Step the fuck outside in plain English and handle your shit in the back room. No convict, no inmate, no other officer, no goddamn captain, lieutenant, sergeant. Nobody needs to know. You want to play your games, do it outside. When you do something inside, it's because you're scared. You want it noted. You're a straight bitch, and you're making everybody else look and commit them as a bad individual. So hold on. So I'm gonna move on. That just got me hyped up. So listen, I want to discuss the Delgado. Sorry, my mad love. Delgado indictments. Enrique Delgado-Garcia was a recruit at the Massachusetts State Academy. He died after participating in a boxing training exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Maria, what do you think about that? You're turning around, you're going in, and you're learning little self-defense, which to me, I'm not going to lie to you guys, and I ain't taking shit from nobody. But come on, you're going to go in and you're going to learn boxing in an academy, which is 6 to 9 months. And my apologies for not forgetting how many months it is. And you're going to be able to protect yourself with your hands. You're going to be able to defend yourself and this and that in under 6 months. That's 100% bullshit. And then to have this person go and die during this action. So, Maria, what do you think about going in? And I look at it as almost like a New Year's resolution. I'm going to start the gym on January, and then by January 31st, I'm done at the gym. And because to me, when you go to the academy and you're learning self-defense, I think this should be carried on after you've taught it. So what do you think about that point, about going in and learning self-defense?
Well, it's always great to have self-defense knowledge, but I thought it was the state troopers or the recruit people that initiated this boxing. Like, it was never part of what they were supposed to be there for.
Well, they're supposed to learn some tactic and self-defense, and they minimize what it is when they train against each other.
Okay.
So, for instance, according to the investigation, the sparring activity was described as an unauthorized and unsupervised. So, in other words, I know from going to dojos, going into boxing, going into different types of, self-defense classes, me and you are sparring, but I am not looking to come in full force and hit you. So we're looking to basically do almost like kata, to learn off each other, but not to destroy each other.
Right.
So really think about this.
It was a severe beating.
Well, once again, I'm not an investigator, and we weren't there to see it, so I don't know if it was a severe
But weren't
beating.
the reports of what happened to him pretty bad?
It's pretty interesting. So the reports indicated he exhibited symptoms from earlier sparring. Okay, so now if you're in there and you're training with someone, and now you're moving up and you're training against two people, if you can't do it, then you sit back. So the interesting part of the story is when I looked into it, he reported he exhibited symptoms from an earlier sparring before the fatal training occurred. So before this even happened, he was already off.
So on that
Excuse me.
same day, not saying that there's this prior history
Nope.
of injury.
Nope.
Wow.
So
yeah.
they were in class
Yep.
that day for the training. So he went forward, and whatever he did earlier was feeling off. And remember, your medical team is there on site and the whole 9 yards, but they let him go back in it. Okay. So to me, that was handled inappropriately. You guys set up a death sentence for this kid who probably would have been or to me still is an incredible individual. And the ability of having one less person to be in an incredible Mass State Police was taken away from your carelessness. So after months of investigations and grand jury proceeding, 4 Academy staff members were indicted. Now, this is what throws me off. Charges include involuntarily manslaughter and related accounts tied to training supervision. So, who trains the trainers in order to supervise these people, these officers that will be out on the street?
Are the trainers officers also?
Trainers could be officers, or could
do they
be
hire them to go in and in their specialty, like your dojo and stuff?
Lo and behold, the trainer was a Mass State Police, but maybe they should really look into professionals and implement real dojos, real trainers, people that know when people are hurt. Because you putting on somebody else that thinks it's a play and it's a joke to watch someone be combative and fight. I've watched military videos where 2 military officers are placed in the middle and they just fight. And to me, if you're my partner and you're going to have my back, I don't care who you are, I am not going to go at you 100%. I don't want anything to hurt you or harm you, and I hope you feel the same. I remember when I was in a dojo, when I first started on small circle jiu-jitsu, and Sensei was incredible Sensei. And if you guys want to learn anything, go to small circle jiu-jitsu. Ed Malau, what an incredible Sensei. I honor that guy with every love and respect. Incredible. He had a guy in there that he just wanted to hurt people. He was just a bully. He was just a person, but he was so awkward and not balanced that when the Sensei saw this, he brought him out to the mat and had him come over. And I'm going to be honest with you. You would think this person would be humbled after he got totally thrown around. No, he just found another dojo to go bully at. So don't know where you are, but if you're watching my podcast, you're a loser. You were a loser then, you're a loser now. So whatever. So to me, I think a lot of it has to be, especially when you're having the responsibilities of having these staff individuals train people to hit the street. How are you training them if your accountability is to beat each other up? So where does that put in your mindset, right? Like all of a sudden, me and you're in the academy and you're a girl and they match us up. I'm going to be like, I don't care. I'm going to beat her in the ground. So where's your mindset when you go and hit that street? Do you think your mindset's going to be like, I'm going to go beat somebody else up because this is how they trained us in the academy? Like you're having people being trained and leaving the academy to hit the streets with this mentality,
which is aggressive.
Absolutely.
It doesn't make me happy.
So it throws me off. So today is about accountability inside institutions and carry the power. If internal affairs doesn't work internally, the public demands external oversight. That's how trust erodes. And I can't stop saying that because to me, I think, Mass State Police is going through a lot right now. And they've been going through a lot. And there's a lot of individuals that I know that are on that are great individuals, very mindful of what they do, straight to the book. But when you start to lower your standards, and Maria, how many times did I take the Mass State Police test?
A lot.
I don't even know how many times, and I got 98s, 99s, 97s. Wasn't good enough.
But I thought it was not good all enough on the psychological part that you failed.
Okay, but it's still a score. There's a logic there. But mine is psychological that I failed. But look at everybody else that gets on. Now they've lowered their standards where they're dropping down to the low 70s. So,
really?
Yeah. Now they need officers. Officers are now dropping up their accountability of what they're looking for in in officers. You know, me and Chris did an episode before where he was telling me that they were actually having officers that have never driven a car and didn't have a license being picked up, brought to the academy. So now look, now you're being trained to drive a vehicle that you've never driven. We've driven since we were 16 years old. So now you're going to tell me a person that's going to never shoot a gun, never had a gun in his life, never had a vehicle in his life, never been in a combative fight in his life, never been struck, never been hit. You're placing this person out with the term, we're here to protect society. Come on, dudes and ladies. You can't even freaking protect yourself. You're a straight out loser that got lucky to get on the academy, and now you're carrying a gun and you think you're a tough guy. So listen, I'm not trying to pull a play on anyone, but come on. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. When I jump out of a vehicle and I see somebody that's in law enforcement at me at 55 and this guy's 24, I know I can outrun him. I can outfight him. I can outshoot him. And I'm looking at them like, when I try getting on, I'm failing, but this person gets on. That's an insult. So I'm coming at everybody and anybody on that. Maria, anything on that?
Well, it's funny because I have noticed for the first time ever, I got a speeding ticket and it was a statey. And I was surprised at his stature because I remember back in the days, the state troopers were always like tall. So
tall, mean.
They changed
the hat.
Yeah.
Remember the brim hat?
Yeah.
They come out standing there like soldiers, like hardcore.
Super.
Even their dog scared the crap out of me.
I was like, and I'm like joking with the state trooper. I'm like, well, congratulations. All these years of driving at 57 years old, I got my first speeding ticket.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Maria got her speeding ticket. At this age, she gets a speeding ticket. What person speeds at this age? I cruise. So listen, I want to be clear about something. Like how I said that, let's be clear. An indictment is not a conviction. It means a grand jury believed there was sufficient evidence to move the case forward. Mm-hmm. But here's the real issue. You don't lose a recruit in training without losing control somewhere in the chain of command. Mm-hmm. And what I was spewing about is basically the chain of command, which here I articulated it correctly. And just to let you know, it takes me hours to write big words that I sometimes can't say. But that's why I always have a co-host beside me so they can correct me. So training cultures matter, okay? Supervision matters. Duty of care matters. When a recruit is under institutional control and responsibility is absolute, this is where internal affairs becomes critical, not to punish people prematurely, but to protect the integrity of the badge. Because if oversight doesn't function eternally, it will be forced externally. Okay? So what I'm saying is, listen, I respect everyone and anything, especially me wanting to be law enforcement when I was younger. I idolized them. And maybe it's because I was bullied and I always wanted to be protected and always wanted to be the protector. And maybe that's why as I got older to my 13s and 14s, I became aggressive. But and you know this because you're my sister, I wasn't aggressive to people. I was aggressive to the bullies. I hated bullies. I hated people that thought they were bigger and tougher for no reason. You could be bigger and tougher, but you could also be friends with everyone. It makes no sense to me why you have to bully. I don't care what you are. I don't care who you are. As long as you respect me, I'm going to respect you back. And if you don't, screw you. I don't need you in my life. You're not going to make me or break me. Maria, any comment on that one?
I can't speak numbers, but I do believe that statistically, they've done studies where bullies were come from really bad situations in their home life, either, abuse or God knows what else was going in that home. So they try to pick on people that in their mind is less than because they're repeating what they're getting at home. So it's sad. Not that I feel bad for bullies because I know what you went through, and for what you went through, you've proven yourself to be way above that. And I love that you say you want to be a protector. because that's what we all should do, you know. But it's sad. It's
Well,
sad to see the bully
famous quote.
stuff.
Why can't we all get along?
I don't know. Don't get me started on Bad Bunny. That was my huge ring. Sorry.
Bad Bunny. I want to.
Oh,
I'm not even going.
Oh yeah,
I'm
no.
not even going. The only thing I know is my wife
loved
got me Lady
I
Gaga
loved
tickets,
it.
and I didn't know that was Lady Gaga at the Super Bowl.
'Cause she
Not
looked
the banana.
great.
I'm not trying to change the script, but if any of you has watched it and knew it was Lady Gaga before they've even announced it or knew she was going to be a surprise guest, I'm going to tell you, it did not look like Lady Gaga.
It took me a second, but on the sidebar, because everybody who watches and knows who I am, I love the Housewives, and there's a particular one from the New York City Housewives. She went on some kind of racial rant, and she just got kicked off. But even she said her comment was like, "Oh my God, I didn't notice Lady Gaga. I had to Google who she was," and she's like, "She had a facelift." I'm like, "No, she just looks beautiful."
I think I'm not going to lie. I'm probably not going to disagree with that because her nose looked different. Her features look different because I watched her on that TV show where she played a vampire.
Oh, I don't watch that show, but that's
it.
crazy.
Yeah, I loved it, and she didn't look like her at all.
American Horror Story.
Yes, American Horror Story. That was good. But listen, we need to get back to this. So here, we're going to move on from that one. And you know what? I am so happy that Officer Delgado-Garcia, this investigation has proven that there's obviously led to something more severe and serious. And it really sucks that he has lost his life, but he'll always be a trooper, and God bless you and your family. My condolences once again.
Absolutely.
So we're going to move on. So I'm going to leave this person's name out, but if people want to Google it, Google it. So I want to talk. There was a prior fatal accident involving a Massachusetts state trooper, and it happened approximately about a year and a half ago to 2 years. That incident is being discussed again amid a broader scrutiny of institution accountability. When a fatal use of force incident occurs, several layers of review typically follow, which obviously it happened a couple of years ago that wasn't followed. So district attorney review, Healy was on the air basically stating, like, I didn't know this happened. Why wasn't I aware of it? That was missing. Grand jury review, nothing about it. Administrative review, nothing about it. Internally affairs review. The trooper, there was a death that happened. So even when procedures are followed, perception matters.
So was the death with a officer or?
No, the officer survived. The officer, the vehicle accident he was involved with termed a life in the other vehicle.
But it was like a pedestrian, like a.
Yeah, it was a civilian.
Not a pedestrian.
It was a civilian.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I lost my thought.
So when new cases emerge and public trust weakens, prior incidents get re-examined. Okay, that doesn't imply wrongdoing. It reflects the reality of public memory. The public does not forget fatal incidents. They remember how transparent leadership was afterwards. Transparency protects the institution. Silence fuels speculations. And when multiple high-profile cases surface in the same time period, confidence gets tested. That's not emotional. That's institutional, psychology. I always say that word. Psychology. So think about this, Maria. Mass State Trooper driving home. I really didn't look much into the story. It just kind of fell into my hand. And you know what? I want to really research this one, but I kind of wanted to bring it up because we were touching base with Mass State Trooper. But did you even hear about this, especially when it's from your town?
No.
Neither have I. The individual is an officer, and I'm not even sure if it was in his state trooper vehicle or his private, but I believe, and once again, I'm not sure, but I believe he was driving the state trooper vehicle.
Okay.
And the person is now deceased. So I didn't hear anything about this at all.
But what was it? Drinking and driving? Was he on a road rage or?
I am not privy to say right now because I really need to investigate it. But what I'm saying to everyone is look into it because it's getting very interesting. where the liability lies in law enforcement. I was pulled over just recently, and the individual's reaction, um, pretty interesting, very aggressive, very, very forward. And I was in my car. My car stands out, and wasn't speeding, wasn't even on the phone. I was actually listening to Led Zeppelin. There was an old song. I was like, oh my God. And I made a right, and he made a right. And if I'm telling you, this guy literally almost ran to my vehicle, and I had my hand on the steering wheel. He goes, license and registration. I said, absolutely. I said, permission to reach in my glove compartment. And he said, why are you reaching your glove compartment? Do you have something in your glove compartment?
That's where I keep my registration.
I kept my wallet there because I had sweatpants on.
Oh, okay.
So I had my registration and my wallet in there. But here's the problem. In the vehicle I'm driving, my glove compartment isn't there.
Yeah.
My glove compartment is here.
Yeah. Like
so I needed him to know, because he made me a little nervous, that when I lift it up, relax, I'm lifting this up.
Yeah.
And while I was lifting it up, I said, is there a reason why you pulled me over? I just want to know for myself. And he said, you ran the red light. I sat for a second, and he said, did you hear me? I said, well, I'm kind of confused. I had a green arrow when I went. I was actually stopped. So then he stopped, and he goes, you're all set, and walked away.
How'd you get lucky?
I didn't run the red light, though.
But because you questioned him on why he was pulling you over, and you told him
I didn't question him. I asked him why. It's not questioning him. Then when he said it, he made an illegal right turn. He was in a lane that needed to go straight. So he knows I was stopped, and there's a camera right on the thing.
So you think he just figured it out, and that's why he let you go?
No, he kept staring at the car the whole time. He was staring at me, which you can't see through the window.
Right.
He was staring at the car. I caught him. I just didn't turn my head to look at him.
Right.
So I kind of just went. And then all of a sudden, right when I went, I saw him go wide out and cut off everybody, then hit his lights. And here's the funny thing is, if I ran the red light.
Oh, God, please.
Right? If I ran the red light.
Oh, yeah.
The person in front of me should have been pulled over first. So why did the person in front of me not get pulled over?
I don't know.
Because the light was green.
But you do have a beautiful car. It is not a car that a lot of people drive. So it is a level of curiosity for some. Maybe he had a curiosity.
Then justify it. Just tell me you wanted to see the car.
I agree with you.
I've had people go, oh my God, I'm not even pulling you over. I just wanted to see the car.
Right?
And I laugh. And I go,
Are you a
I actually let them sit in it.
Maybe he was hoping you were going to be like The Rock or something.
Oh, you got jokes. So listen, what I just kind of want to say on that part is accountability, investigation, and realizing when there's a situation that occurs that, like it or not, you're not going to be able to hide it. This is the public. So make sure you do your due diligence, and you do your investigations, and you do everything before it hits the public's eyes, especially right now and what's going on with us in society right now. It's like we're having a large group of people that want to assault law enforcement, assault military people, assault people, period. And we don't need these reactions. Like I have, and I'm going to give a shout out to my security team. Mad respect, and you guys have done an incredible job, and the amount of stuff that you guys have to put up with, trust me. And I'm telling you this from a foot soldier with you guys. It started out my career knowing what you and everyone has to put up with, the disrespect, being taunted that you're just security, or you're just law enforcement, or you're nobody, you got beat up in school. What I'd like to give a shout out to is this, and this would be directed to Facebook and anybody else that watches it. What a lot of you guys that think you guys are doing is bullying my teammates or other security officers. I'll explain something to you. A lot of them do have boxing backgrounds, do have martial art background. Mm-hmm. And what holds them back is respect. They don't want to hurt you. So all this badgering and all this bull that you guys do, luckily, these individuals are trained platinum wise. They're trained to respect you no matter what you say about their mother, no matter what you say about their family, no matter what you say about their wives. And it's funny that you will lower your standards and lower yourselves to come at someone combatively over family for an individual that's just trying to work a 9 to 5 to get more money. That's all they're doing. They're just following what people paid them to hire to do, which means protect their property or protect their staff or just protect. So all this little bull that everyone does, you guys got to understand. God bless you, because some of these guys that do hold back from the stuff you guys do don't really realize you're pushing buttons of someone that most likely could term you. And so kudos to my teammates. I really appreciate that you guys have stayed in your level of standards in your reports and everything. And I really do appreciate that. Anything from you on that, Maria?
No, ditto on that one. Great stuff.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So what I also want to discuss is, because I have background in the Department of Corrections and stuff like that. And this one kind of really throws me off. Okay. So listen, we all know, in the intel of all of us being blue shirts, we're all going to back each other up if something goes wrong with each other. But the pure audacity of Suffolk County to have employees fight each other is disgusting, is literally disgusting. I don't even know how to start this conversation, but I just want to say, according to WHDH, which I don't even care for, reporting several Suffolk County correctional officers were caught on camera fighting inside a facility near an elevator around 7:30 a.m. 2 officers engaged physically. Other officers attempted to intervene. The sheriff department confirmed no inmates were present and the investigation has been opened. Here's the funny thing is, I don't care if inmates were present. It hit the news. So inmates are actually watching this and laughing at you losers. Okay? I'm lost with this. So let's step back. Corrections is built on authority and discipline.
Mhm.
Okay, really think about that. Okay, internal conflict undermines that authority. Even if no inmates were present, the camera was, and the public just watch. Inmates just watch. Convicts just watch. And the public is now scrutinizing what is going on with law enforcement. Okay, in corrections, authority is everything. What'd you guys do, Suffolk? Hire a bunch of gangbangers that came in and they had some freaking bull between each other? I'm so confused with this. If staff lose control with each other, the perception of control weakens overall. So now you're going to have inmates and convicts playing officers against each other.
Correct.
Right? When I worked inside, tension was handled professionally, and you never allowed dysfunction to become visible. And what I mean by that is, it's old school. I got a beef with you.
Take it to the streets.
Now, we ain't taking it to the streets. We're taking it in the corner of a location off where we drink. After it's done and said, we shake hands, we come back in. Not come back in. We're usually having drinks outside. But none of that bullshit went in. Nobody knew what went in inside. And then once another officer will say something inside to another convict, that person is now castrated out from anybody else. That means nobody's going to talk to them. No one's going to deal with that officer anymore, because you know what? You handle it as men.
Did you mean to say ostracized?
Ostracized? What did I say?
Castricize, which means you get your.
So see, I used the word wrong. I think Maria meant ostracize, and I said castricize.
Yes, which isn't
castricize is not a word.
It is, but I think it means you cut off someone's privates.
Oh, I thought that was castration.
No. Yeah, I think that's that's a derivative of the word.
All right, I liked my word better.
I think it's like, I was like, wait a minute.
See, this is
ostracized.
Ostracized. So forget that. So here's the whole thing. This isn't about embarrassment. It's about culture, leadership, discipline, chain of command. The department has opened up an investigation that corrects step, because accountability protects everyone, including officers involved. So, Maria, isn't it kind of sad that we pay taxes and everything, and now you're sitting here wondering who else do we have working for the departments that are basically hitting the streets and having authority?
completely. But I do have a question for you, and I'm assuming, because my God, how many years ago were you in training? You guys go to actual places where officers, state trooper, like barracks and stuff like that, where they train, right?
Yep, we go to an academy class. We
Yep.
learn everything. We learn institutional CMRs and policy rules. Then what happens after we learn that? We do physical training. Not really that much self-defense training and tactic, but they do teach you how to protect yourself as long as you can protect yourself. And then, you know, a lot of running, a lot of sit-ups, a lot of push-ups, but you
Right.
don't have to do that anymore, by the way.
Just like
So
the police.
yeah, police, corrections, anything. If you say I can't do a push-up, oh, that's fine. Oh, I can't run. Oh, that's fine. So
The
they've
everybody
softened
wins
it up.
mentality.
Yeah, they've softened up today's society. So but we do go through training. Then on top of it, the institution that they're needed or institution that you picked, of course, I picked MCI Cedar Junction, Walpole Prison, the last stop of the last stop, and shout out to all the guys. Incredible group of people, incredible officers and sergeants and captains have passed. And then of course you got shitbags. So it is what it is. Some people that climbed up the step ladders that were plumbers or carpenters that basically never were officers in block, never committed themselves, would climb up to an administrative position and make executive decisions, but yet never been on the ground, never walked it.
All right.
So whatever. It is what it is, but it isn't when people are paying their tax money to have us trained to go in there, and we neglect and respect the finances that went into the training.
Right.
So I don't know. So to me, I look at it this way, Maria, the bigger issue is institutional strain. What I'm seeing is this recruitment shortage, which we discussed.
Right.
Mandatory overtime. So staffing now is taking a crazy amount of overtime, where now it doesn't become about the job. It becomes about what? The finances. Because now, oh, I don't want to make 100,000. I'm going to make 300,000. I want it.
Just
It's the number.
just based on overtime.
Yeah, overtime.
Well, I
like
was thinking of pure exhaustion. That's like
they don't care about
that's
that because
like
you're not
setting up
you're
somebody
not really
for failure.
working, but you're not working.
What are
That's
you
the
doing?
problem. Sitting in your cruiser on your phone. You never just pass by a detail and that officer's looking at his phone, not even directing traffic.
True.
They're getting paid $100-something an hour sitting there looking at their phone, doing nothing. Okay. So now what happens is, because they're burnt out, and then there's political pressure, there's leadership turnover, there's legal liability concerns. Now you're having officers that are too scared to approach and speak to anyone. So they
Right.
want to sit back because they're in fear of losing their job, because
Right.
now they can be sued. So, you know, there's a lot behind it. There's social media scrutiny. Every time someone gets pulled over, they pull the camera
Oh
out
yeah.
and say, "Yup, you're on camera." Come on. It's like, where did this all happen? Standards don't collapse overnight. It happens little by little. And once that advantage happens, they just run with it. And they erode when discipline becomes negotiable, when culture drifts, when supervision weakens, when oversight hesitates. This is not anti-law enforcement, it's pro-integrity. Because strong institutions correct themselves, weak institutions defend themselves. And that's what we're being placed right now, where everyone's in that position to defend themselves. So, Maria, anything on that?
Oh, I like that last line. That was pretty cool.
Like, thank you. It took me a minute because I
It
did
was-
spell the
no,
word
it
wrong
was
a few
good.
times. I did spell a few things and I had to look it up on Google going, is that how you spell that word?
At least you didn't
But
say
I
castration.
personally like, what was my word? Castrate. No, it wasn't castration. It was categorizing. I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I have to do play on words because I'm like, it sounds like it. So we were trying to say ostracizing, and you said castricizing.
Castricizing.
That's
So
I don't even know if it's a word.
next episode, everyone should look that one up.
I
want
don't
to
have
see
my
if it's a
phone.
word.
I don't have my phone, so I can't look it up.
So
but-
listen, my closing is this: Delgado indictments, trooper scrutiny, correctional officer misconduct, different headlines, same theme. Oversight, accountability is not betrayal. Eternal affairs is not punishment. It is protection. It protects good officers. It protects institutional integrity. Maria, anything on you?
No, I just pray that officers that we give mad respect to, like law enforcement, I hope they'll be safe, and you hope that the people that are in prisons and so forth that work those jobs, they were all, being safe. It's just sad to hear all that.
All right. If institutions don't correct themselves, people, the public will demand corrections for them. And once this happens, control shifts. That's when real damage begins. So when I'm giving a shout out to all the blue shirts I know, to all the street blue shirts I know, guys, help train these newbies. Help train them. And if I hate to say it, if you see them going off the rails, doing the wrong things, smack them in the head and correct them, because they're not worth the investment to save your lives. And the sucky part is people see that, and that's why there's so much respect being lost. So I would like to close out once again, because Facebook, I appreciate it. To all my Facebook followers that have voted for me for the muscle and fitness
Yes,
thing,
keep
I
voting.
really appreciate that. I would never imagine that I would make it as far as I made it. So definitely appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it ends. But for those that catch up the show later on the podcast, thank you so much for the ones that joined us right now, and for the ones that'll check us out later. Please let me know, email us, leave us out comments, tell me, say, Felipe, you know what, that episode sucked. Oh my God, Felipe, you said this or this and that. Please, I got big shoulders. Tell me. That's it. Shout out to everyone. Mad love and respect. And thank you for watching Security Tales.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, screw Valentine's. Made up holiday.
Enjoy your loved
Made up
ones.
holiday. All right.
Namaste.
Everyone. All right. To Facebook.